All right, welcome everyone. This is our our coaching info sneak peek call where we're going to go over everything that we do as coaches, kind of highlight some of the things that we don't do as coaches, and really just share our experiences and why we continue showing up every day. So I'll kick it off. My name is Brittany Arnett, and I've been a coach for a little over 3 years. And really high level, what we do as coaches is the very first thing we do is we take care of ourselves. So we show up every day, we get our workout in, we fuel ourselves with our superfoods, and we take care of our mind. We do our personal development, we take care of our mind. And when we are taking care of ourselves, that allows us to really show up as our best selves and pour into our clients and really just encourage other people who may be following along with our journey. And so that's very basically what we do. And the thing that I really love about being a coach is really more of maybe the mental side of it, I'll say. Before becoming a coach, I was very self-conscious. I didn't really believe in myself. I thought that, like, oh, everyone thinks I'm so smart and I really don't know what I'm doing type of mindset, right? But from becoming a coach and really committing to doing daily personal development, it really instilled a belief in myself that I am confident, I'm competent, I can do a lot of things. I can motivate and encourage other people. And not only did it help me in that aspect, but it helped me in my personal life as well. And then the fact that, being a coach, we one of the things also is, we want to show up on our social media platforms and we want to encourage other people. So I had to figure out, okay, well, how can I encourage other people? How can I find ways to encourage people? And from doing that and really digging deep, it made me create a routine for myself. It made me to create a morning routine that I could share, right? So even though it originated with me trying to find things to share, it actually helped me. It helped me to be more focused. It helped me to really get up in the morning and get my workout in before the kids got up. Um, it helped me to just have a stronger morning routine and helped me to really start my day on a stronger note, even my evening routine. So, being a coach has helped me to put certain processes in place so that I could share them with other people. But also as I'm learning, as I'm putting those processes in place, they really help me so much. Um, those processes also help me to just find the time to coach. And because I'm committed to, I've developed this morning routine that I share with everyone, and I try to share people and try to help them figure out how to get up in the morning and get their workout in. Because I'm doing that, I'm also able to find more time for coaching. And so just being able to kind of create those processes really has helped me to just grow on the coaching path. And to also give you just a little bit more background on me. So I'm a wife. This year to be 10 years that I've been married. 2 kids. I have a 4-year-old and a 10-month-old. So very busy, busy, busy. But even with that, I've noticed that, the extra accountability that comes with coaching allows me to even let my kids see me taking care of myself. My kids see me getting up every morning and doing my work. My daughter, she wakes up, she's an early riser. I try to get up before her so I can have some me time. But when she wakes up and she sees that I'm already awake, especially if she sees that I've already done my workout, she's complete meltdown at 6 o'clock in the morning. She's like, Mommy, you worked out without me, so it's a part of her life as well. And it has allowed me to be the example for her. So she can see that this is normal. This is a normal part of our life. And so when she gets older, she won't have to figure out how to make this a part of her lifestyle. It'll already be normal to her. Not working out would be like, what's going on? Like, why are we not working out? And so those are the different things that coaching has really brought to my life, is that it's helped me accountable. It's helped me to be a better example for my family. It's instilled a mindset in me where I believe that I can do so many things, where I'm stretching myself and challenging myself to do things that I would never have thought to have done before. And by doing all that, I'm able to just share my journey with people and encourage other people. And that's really what we do as coaches. You know, we're encouraging people to be their best selves and then inviting them on the journey with us. So that is my story. I guess I'll kick it over to Lena.
Yeah, good. So many things in common listening to yours too. I've got a 4-year-old. She's throwing a fit. So I'm Lena Jackson. I am coming up on my 2-year anniversary of coaching. I signed up actually 4 years ago, was on board for the discount, promptly canceled that coach account. And I think I did approximately 2 workouts and declared myself a failure. My heart and my head just weren't aligned in that moment. Fast forward to now, or 2020. In January 2020, I kind of just got tired of all my excuses. I had struggled with infertility. Then I became very good at getting pregnant. I was never good at staying pregnant. I had 5 miscarriages. I finally got past 12 weeks with my daughter, my rainbow baby, and my water broke at 24 weeks. She was born at 26 weeks. So we got through that. We did 74 days in the NICU. And so much of my life had just became her. So we got home and I survived all that. She came home in 2018. That year, no, I'm sorry, 2020, I realized all the things I went through and I was like, okay, I survived the infertility, the miscarriages, the preemie birth, all the days in the NICU. We've had job loss, job change, bought houses. Is controlling my nutrition and moving my body going to be that difficult when I've done all these hard things? So I secretly, still under my coach, who's still my coach, secretly signed on for the 2 free weeks. And I promised myself, just give yourself, even if you lay on the floor, 30 minutes a day. So I did that and I pushed a little bit harder. And then I lost 70 pounds. I started over 200 pounds. I just kept feeling better and better. And it was then people messaging me, what are you doing? What's the secret? Well, the secret is nutrition and exercise and accountability. So I signed on again to coach in July 2020. I haven't looked back. It has brought more than I could have ever anticipated to my life, as far as reconnecting with people, connecting with brand new people, hearing our coach stories within this group. There's just so much. And then on top of that, things like vacation. I'm paying my daughter, oh, there she is. I'm paying my daughter's preschool tuition just with extra. I still work full time because I struggled with fertility. That was one of my big excuses when I was not able to control my weight. It was the idea of a second baby. And once we put that to bed, more doors opened. We became fostered to licensed to foster. So that's part of my big goal going further, is to be able to leave my full-time job and foster more babies and hold this baby as much as I can and be the mom that I just dreamed I would always be. So that's me. Everything's been just better than I could have imagined. And honestly, if you ever would have told me in 2018, when I first signed up, that this would be where I was at, I would have, I'm sure I did roll my eyes. And no looking back, I guess, huh? So I am going to turn it over to one of the Megans, whoever, Megan Blinka. Okay.
Yeah. I think because Megan Gibbons had signed on under me initially to get it started. So there's two of me showing up. I promise I'm a solo being here. Thank you, girls, for sharing. Megan, did you? I know I missed the first few minutes. Did you talk yet, Megan Gibbons? No, you're muted. All right. Well, why don't you go ahead, and then I won't talk twice. I'll just kind of do it at the end then. So go ahead. I'll let you go next.
Okay, sorry. I'm having major internet issues. We live like way out in the country in Texas. And so if something happens, that's what's going on. But I started coaching about 3 years ago. I'm coming up on my 3-year anniversary as a coach, and I am a teacher, 5th grade math teacher. I have 2 girls, and I'm actually teaching one of my girls this year, and so 11 and 6 years old. So the reason I started coaching was basically to earn my Shakeology. So when I had both of my girls, pregnancy was not like a glorious thing for me. It was completely miserable, to be quite honest. Towards the end of both pregnancies, I ended up having to go and be induced because I had blood pressure issues, and I ended up with post-eclampsia, which I didn't even know that was a thing. But basically, my blood pressure shot up after pregnancy. And with Charlie, my second daughter, I had to be on blood pressure medication for a year afterwards. And so obviously that made me, I asked my doctor, is there any way that I can get off of this? I don't want to be on medication for the rest of my life. And they said, you need to take care of yourself. So I started doing local boot camps and stuff, and that kind of worked for me, but I was very inconsistent. And as far as nutrition, I was very inconsistent, did all the fad diets, everything that you see out there, and it just wasn't really working. So a few years ago, we ended up moving closer to the school district that I'm at, and we are about 25 minutes from town. And so I knew moving out here that I wasn't going to have the convenience of being in town and going to a gym like I was used to. So I decided to just jump in on Beachbody. So I did. T20 was my very first program. And shortly after that, I signed up as a coach just to get my Shakeology for a discount, really, and then hopefully earn money for Shakeology. And I've done that and so much more. And honestly, the biggest takeaway I have are the relationships and the accountability that I get from coaching, because the money is obviously huge. I love, having extra cash. Who doesn't? But the motivation I get from everybody on our team, from doing the daily tracker and the vital behaviors and diving into personal development, and just I'm definitely a creature of habit. So developing habits that help me to be a better mom and a better teacher and a better wife and a better person, that has been something that has benefited me more than anything, and helped me to stay accountable and helped me to grow. And I have a passion to pass that on to other women, because there are so many women out there that I see who don't see their worth. And I've been there. Growing up, my mom struggled with weight all of her life. And so that was always a big deal. And I never had someone to really show me how to be healthy. And I feel like a lot of people are in that same boat now. And just knowing that I have a team behind me, always willing to support me in whatever I do, helps. And then obviously showing up every day. I know that there are people watching me. So if I don't work out or I don't do something, like they're going to notice. And even people that I think aren't really watching, they'll say stuff to me at school or at church. Oh, you're so motivational. I love your posts and things like that. So that kind of puts extra pressure on me to actually show up and do what I need to do to be a healthier me. So that's one reason I love coaching, and it has been such a blessing in my life. Like I said, not just financially, but definitely as far as just making me a better person for my family and for my friends. And I honestly I would not be the person I am today if I hadn't jumped in on this coaching business.
All right. I get all the feels listening to you guys because I can remember when each of you started. I can remember when you started. I can see the journey and all the words that you're saying as I nod along. Like I watched you. I watched you transform from that person who you were when you first said yes to the person you are before. And it is an incredible honor to be able to know that I played a part in it. And I think that is what keeps me coming back every single day. Is yes, you hear the 3 stories that were shared now, but there's so many more, and there's so many more to be had because of the courage and bravery that not just me, but everyone on our team and everyone who's coaching and sharing this opportunity gets to pay forward whenever we bring other people on. So I love it. Brittany, when you said about how your daughter doesn't have to grow up wondering like what healthy living, like that just hit me. Like my kids are now 10 and 8, but they only know this version of me. They don't know the version of me that was tired, that lived off of Diet Dr. Pepper and handfuls of peanut M&Ms, and we'd lay on the floor exhausted, and my husband and I would look at each other and be like, you changed the diaper. No, you changed the diaper. Because neither one of us wanted to get up because we were so unhealthy, not necessarily overweight, just incredibly unhealthy. And today it popped up on my memories that 8 years ago, I took my very first set of before pictures. So I have been coaching for almost 8 years. I started my first challenge group 8 years ago, but it coincides very closely with the beginning of my coaching because I was so transformed in that very first group that I went from challenger to coach just like that because I knew that there was other people out there that needed to have this in their lives too. So real quick, my name is Megan Blink. I just quickly mentioned I have 2 kids who are also in hockey. So I was a little late joining tonight because we had a little shift around with the kiddos and who was taking who. And I said to my husband, whenever he was like, I know that you have this call tonight, but I need you to take Colton to hockey. And I said, it's okay. I'll get one of the other girls to start the call and I'll come in late because it is because of this business that I have the freedom at 3:30 to leave and go run the hockey duty. So I was okay shifting and going a little pivot this evening because that is actually one of my favorite things about this business is the freedom that is created. Before I started this amazing team, I used to be a CPA and I worked grueling hours in the city away from my daughter. I didn't necessarily know that this whole world existed, but I knew that the world that I was living in wasn't one that I wanted to continue. It was really hard to wake up every day and, leave my daughter at 6:15 in the morning and come home. Most of the time she was already in bed. Whenever we got pregnant with our second, we had made the decision that I would not return to the office. And we did anything that an accountant would do. And I made a spreadsheet. I made the spreadsheet of here's how much we have coming in and here's how much we have going out. And this is what we need to have on a monthly basis. And we sold my car and I became an expert couponer. And I did all the things that would allow me to be home with my babies. And it worked, right? I had my son. I came home and not only was becoming a full-time stay-at-home mom nothing that I imagined. My spreadsheet wasn't exactly the most accurate. And it took a few months before the maternity leave and that extra pay kind of all ran out dry. And it was October. So my son was born in May. It was October. And I remember going to a neighborhood party because I live in a big neighborhood and there was always a jewelry party and a pampered chef party and then this party and that party. And I came home in tears. My husband's like, what is wrong with you? And I was like, all these girls, they're buying jewelry and we don't have any money and we can't buy it. And it was like, not about the jewelry, because as you can see today, I actually don't really wear any jewelry, but it was about the fact that I couldn't buy the jewelry that my neighbor was selling because we literally had no money. And that feeling of knowing that we didn't have any extra wiggle room in the budget was suffocating to me. That was October. And in February of that upcoming year, I was following my coach on social media, and she shared her life, shared the life that if you're watching this, you see the person who invited you to check out this call shares their life very openly. They share the good, the bad, the ugly, but she was always so happy, and she was fit, and she seemed full of energy. And I remember looking at my husband being like, I want that. After rolling my eyes for the year following her, I got to a point where I didn't roll my eyes. I wanted what she had. I first joined as a challenger. I joined because I needed it for my health. And as soon as I got one glimpse at what this business opportunity could do, I signed up as a coach. It's been 8 years of sharing this business inside out. I have shared every aspect of it. I hit the ground running on day one and never stopped sharing. You could look at my social media for 8 years, 96 straight months, however many weeks and days that adds up to, you'll see me showing up every single day. Because every morning I still have it on this Post-it notes on my computer. It says, I'm grateful somebody invited me. And that's what I look at every day, because I'm so grateful that someone invited me, that I get to invite other people, that I get to share this opportunity, because I am a different person. Like every one of you shared, our lives have been completely transformed, physically, financially, emotionally. Our families, we're different moms, we parent differently. Our kids are raised differently and are going to see a different version of their mom had we not said yes to this. And it is for that reason that I continue every single day to share, not just to post sweaty selfies and say, look at me, but to be able to say, hey, look at what this opportunity could do for you too. So as you're listening to this call, or you're listening to the recording, and you're, hearing people, and like I'm nodding along as all these girls share their stories, because I can relate to little pieces of what they're saying. Maybe you're nodding along too, being like, okay, like I see where she once was, and I see where she is now, and I want to be on that side. One of the things that we do as coaches is we walk you through the basics of getting started, of being, taking it from brand new coach to building in these early stages to leading a team down the road. And we do it all together, the same way we lead this call together, because we truly are stronger together, and you don't have to do any of this alone. One of the greatest things that my coach had introduced me to when I got started was the idea of this new coach training, because nobody necessarily knows how to build a virtual coaching business. Unless you've done this before, you're probably clueless. And I don't want that to ever be something that holds you back. I was clueless. They were all clueless, but we figured it out together. And because of the experience that you'll get from joining our team, I promise you, when you get started, you'll have an exact roadmap and system to follow to get started. We have team calls on a weekly basis. We do different training groups as you progress along in your business. And we do quarterly, they're back, they're live, Super Saturdays. So kind of random and out there, but the Pittsburgh Super Saturday, we're getting autumn in April with the new Gut Protocol program, which is really exciting to me. But we have other opportunities to not just do Zoom calls, which are great and convenient, but to actually get together in person too. One of the things that we have is our coach summit this year, which again, coming back, everything's coming back to life. And to me, that is the greatest thing, because Megan, I've never actually got to hug in person. Lena, I've never actually hugged in person. Sylvia, it's been years. And Brittany, although we're in the same zip code, it's been a while since we've actually seen each other. It's been a couple years since we've seen each other in person too. But we get to bring this all to life with our coach summit this year, and the events are coming back. And to me, that's what helped me fall in love with this in the first place. When I had got started, I was drowning in life as a stay-at-home mom. I didn't know what to expect when that became my reality, but I was someone who spent all day working around a lot of other adults. I was busy, and then I switched to this, being home with two tiny humans, which is what I dreamed of. But I miss that connection. I miss friends. I miss talking to other adults. And this kind of gave me that way to still have my piece that I wanted to be a business owner. I have that. I have ran a very successful business over these last 8 years, but I also am able to connect with other adults and still be home raising my babies. And that balance to me was everything. To be able to be both of those people, it fit for me. And if it's a fit for you, we want you to take action. So on March 1st, so We're closing out enrollment on February 28th, and we'll begin the new coach training for March. You have an opportunity to plug into weekly new coach calls in addition to our typical team calls. And what makes that different is there's things that you will do in those first couple weeks that will set the foundation of your knowledge and the base of your business. We want to make sure you know that we're here to guide you and to walk you through this entire process. Sharing this business is something that I don't take lightly. I always think there's somebody out there. There's another Megan out there who was where I once was, who has a desire to be where I am. And I don't mean just me, but all of these women that you get to hear from that want to be in a different place. And because of this business that is so much more than workouts and shakes, it's a community, it's a lifestyle, and we get to expand that with all of you guys. So thank you for taking the time to listen, to hear the stories. And if you hear yourself in somebody else's story, I just want to encourage you to talk to the coach that invited you to check this call out. Have a conversation, share any questions that you have, ask them. I promise you, you're going to get honest feedback and you'll be able to make that decision if joining now is the right time. All right. Thank you, ladies, all for sharing. I greatly appreciate it. And I love you all. And I can't wait to see you all in person soon. Have a good night.